you don't think that anybody, you say you don't like that when people try to fuck with other people's business.
No, I don't.
Okay, so is your claim that your partner or your friend, as you put it, so you don't think he's tried to fuck with someone else's business?
It depends on what exactly you mean by that.
No, I want to know what you think, because I mean, you're saying that you don't think that you see it. I want to know how you define fucking with someone's business.
So what I define as fucking with someone's business in this context, because of what I've seen, is in relation to the charity shit and then the ISOM shit where someone was contacted like a kind of Karen to get them into action against you. I hate that shit.
Okay, so
calling for people to be canceled and all that shit. I hate it.
So your partner did that with the trademark issue.
He did that with the trademark issue.
Yeah. He specifically messaged. He tweeted at the CEO, and he was like, "I hope you consider, like a little Karen, like you just said. I hope you consider that. You know, he did X, Y, and Z. He specifically did that
after they filed the lawsuit, right?
Yes.
Yeah, after they filed the lawsuit.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You're in a legal action, man. He's commenting on it, like."
All right, so all right. So you don't look at that like trying to fuck with someone's business, trying to essentially instigate it is what it is. Because we haven't been served or anything like that. Essentially trying to instigate that. You don't see that as that trying to fuck with someone's business.
Dude, if I said that everyone who talked about something in a negative way involving someone,
that's not what it is that I'm saying. We're talking about him specifically, like a Karen, tweeting directly at this CEO of whoever is involved in this trademark dispute, trying to instigate the continuation of the lawsuit.
Instigate the continuation of the lawsuit?
Correct, because we haven't been served.
Was the lawsuit ending?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't. Nobody's been served.
So, but like the lawsuit,
it's still in limbo. It's still in limbo. It hasn't. It's still in that limbo phase. Nobody's been served. We haven't gone to court over it. Nothing. None of that has happened.
Good. I hope it costs you
right. All right. So back to the point, though. What would you consider that? You wouldn't consider that trying to actively fuck with someone's business.
Had you guys already been fighting for like 2 months at this point?
I'm not. No, so I wouldn't consider that. I'm asking you. Can you?
You wouldn't consider that?
No, not at all. I consider it that I would more so accurately putting it is that this guy has an issue with me, and that's all that it is.
Hadn't you guys had a fight on Flashcast already at this point, and then it kept going after that?
Say what?
You guys had already talked on Flashcast prior to that, and then the shit kept going after, right?
Yeah, because he kept talking down.
He kept talking
down.
Oh, down.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, down. Yeah.
Dude, sometimes I mishear shit. I was just trying to clarify. Dude, is it fucking with someone's business?
Can you answer the question? Yeah.
No, I don't think that's fucking with someone's business.
All right, so
I don't think trying to instigate
someone into a lawsuit is fucking with someone's business.
You're already in the lawsuit.
I understand that, but he's trying to instigate them into continuing it on because as the specific message that he responded to is the guy saying that, well, we don't want to go to court, yada, yada, yada. And that's, whatever, that is what it is. He's specifically saying that he wants him to consider X, Y, and Z. You don't consider your partner, like a Karen, contacting the CEO trying to instigate a lawsuit trying to fuck with someone's business.
Did you accuse him of starting that lawsuit?
No.
Prior to him tweeting that?
No.
No?
No.
You didn't say that he and Vito were behind that?
No.
I think your timeline might be off on that one, brother.
No, I think your timeline might be off on that one because if you watch my video, I never make all I did was connect that specific email to them. The person that emailed to them. Correct.
Right. So prior to him tweeting the people,
correct,
right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So my timeline's not off.
No, your timeline is off. You're saying you're claiming that I said my name. No. You're making a claim that I explicitly stated that I wouldn't be so foolish as to do that.
So Dick and Vito didn't do this then.
I don't know.
You don't know now.
No, I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Potentially. Nonetheless,
you're gonna sit here. You're gonna sit here and honestly fucking say maybe now.
That's
like you don't know.
What did I? You want to watch the video now, Nick? Because I never explicitly say that it is that was what it was that they did. What I will say is that again, the guy that sent that goofy ass email that tried to again gay up his way into kind of a lawsuit, someone took credit for it nonetheless, and that's what specifically happened. That's what it is that I'm saying. I'm connecting them. There was nothing that I said in that regard that was not factual. Nothing.
So you're not accusing Dick and Eric of fucking with your, or Dick and Vito of fucking with your business.
Oh no.
Until the tweet.
Oh no. That's not what it is that I'm saying. The guy has been actively trying to fuck with the business. I mean, he's trying to contact the charity, trying to prove some case of fucking fraud that doesn't exist, like a fucking Karen.
Did he tried to prove a case of fraud? He asked questions to the charity and they answered him, right?
What reason would he have had to contact the charity?
Maybe he thought you were committing a fraud.
Okay, exactly. And obviously there's no evidence. There's no evidence of any of that existing, and it doesn't stop him from continuously claiming it is that's what happened. However, you're claiming that's not trying to fuck with. What's the point of him doing that? He's just a good Samaritan. Is he just a good Samaritan trying to look out for people being fraud? That's what's happening, Nick?
Maybe. I don't know.
All right. Okay.
Did he say to you that he apologized for calling you a scammer and said he didn't think you were running a fraud?
No, I don't remember him ever saying that he didn't think I was running he didn't think I was running a fraud. I don't remember him ever saying that.
You don't remember that?
No.
Oh,
I remember. I know he continuously tweeted that I was.
He said it to your face, and you said okay. I mean, he did do that.
Said what to my face?
Exactly.
I've never met this guy in person. I've never met this guy in person.
On Flashcast. You guys were both on Flashcast.
He said what? He said what on Flashcast?
I'm sorry for calling you a scammer. I don't think you're running a fraud. I'm sorry for saying
I don't remember that latter part. I do remember him apologizing and then right after starting to talk shit. So it didn't seem like it was that genuine.
Well, it probably wasn't genuine.
I didn't think it was either.
So
you don't on a serious note, you think that you don't think that that's someone trying to actively fuck with someone's business. You wouldn't consider contacting these people like Karens. You wouldn't consider any of that defaming, claiming fraud that's not there. You wouldn't consider that trying to fuck with someone's business. He's just up and just out of kindness of his heart, he's just trying to figure out and get to the bottom of this. What do you think that he was attempting to do? What was the end game there?
So, question: How?
I'm asking you a question. Can you answer that?
Sure. Well, restate it quickly.
All right, I'll restate it quickly. Restate it quickly. What do you think? For example, I gave you 2 examples, and we know that it is that he tried to do that. What do you think the point was? And for example, contacting the charity, what was he attempting to do there?
I don't know. Maybe fuck with your business.
Okay.
Or maybe ask questions about a fraud that he perceived. Okay. So the question I have for you though is: are people allowed to investigate a perceived fraud?
Oh, of course.
How would one do that?
Maybe they would contact a charity to try to find it.
So if someone sees something and they go, this seems like a scam or fraud, and they contact a charity, that's something they could do?
Yeah, they can do that. He did it. He's the one that did it. Of course he could do it.
So that's fucking with someone's business?
Well, he was attempting to fuck with the business, absolutely, because there's nothing there. And it also didn't stop him.
Hold on. That?
It didn't stop him. Yeah, well, yeah, of course he knew that. He's just trying to find smoke where there's no fire, essentially. There was nothing there, Nick, is the point it is that I'm making. There was nothing there before. There was nothing there after the fact. It didn't stop him from continuing to do things as such and claim that I was scamming and that I was doing all these various things. In addition to, and I gave you another example of trying to instigate a lawsuit.
A lawsuit that's already
lawsuit that already exists, trying to instigate
the continuation of a lawsuit. Got it.
Continue. Yeah. And you don't find anything. You don't find any issue with that.
Dude, you guys have been fighting for months.
I'm cool. I'm cool with that, Nick. I'm all right.
Like I'm going to be honest. I don't think that's fucking with your business.
Right.
Like that isn't starting something new.
I disagree.
You're welcome to. The thing I hate.
Disagree.
Yeah, you're welcome to. The thing I hate about the charity shit is I have a shit ton of questions that I would love to ask to clarify that stuff. But, and I want to be 1,000,000,000% clear, and I've never faltered from this. I do not in any way think that you have done anything wrongful in regards to any charity. Okay? There are questions I would love to ask to clarify this discussion we're having about why someone might do it. But if I ask those questions and you answer them weirdly, it could compromise you. And I don't want to do that.
Have you, let me ask you this, and I'll answer whatever questions it is that you have. Have you pressed your partner on these things and had a conversation like this publicly with him? As far as all the claims it is that he's made and all the things it is that he said, have you asked him about any of that stuff and really got to the nitty gritty on that?
No, he didn't ask me.
Okay, so you've never done that. All right, so go ahead and ask me what questions you have pertaining to the charity.
To be fair, I hadn't done it with you until you came into my chat on my show after calling me out in fucking public lying about what I've said.
What did I lie about? Hold on, wait.
Buddy. You don't want to get into this right now.
What did I lie about? What did I lie about?
You've said this entire time that I've been dishonest and what is it? Non-objective. Well, hold on, man. You don't think I'm objective because what I said was, I think Eric July's on the up and up. I want him to make a fucking fortune. I want him to do everything. But I have not seen sufficient evidence to support that Dick and
Now you're lying. Now you're lying. You're lying. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're fucking lying because I've never once made that claim. So now you're lying. You're lying, saying that I said you objective because you said those three. I said that you weren't
not as objective as I thought.
That's what I said, and that never once did I say it was because of you saying those.
I will humbly suggest you do not know the definition of the word objective.
Okay,
because what I've said,
and I don't think you know the definition of lying because you're claiming that I did something that I did not. Or matter of fact, maybe to be more accurate, you're a fucking hypocrite in that regards because you're lying on me in a position that I don't have. You. Say what?
You have said that I am not honest and not objective.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I said no. Yeah, I've said that I don't think you are as objective as you lead yourself on to believe, or lead maybe your followers and others to believe. That's what it is that I said.
So I'm deceiving my followers. Is that what I'm doing? I'm lying about the situation.
I don't think it's necessarily deception. I think that's just more so a natural response to, if you got a partner, that's your boy, and therefore
I'm not rolling with my partner. I'm not doing that.
You're not doing what?
I'm not rolling with Dick because he's my friend. If Dick did this, I'd just call him a fucking idiot. And you know why? Dick wouldn't care. Dick told me to disavow him specifically to make my life easier, Eric.
Okay. All right. And that's cool. Like I'm not telling you to disavow him.
You absolutely
only claim it is that I'm say what?
You absolutely have done that several times.
That is a fucking lie.
Buddy. Oh, maybe you didn't explicitly say it, right? So you just implied that
I just implied that I wanted you to. Nick, you can be friends with whoever the fuck you want to be friends with. That's not a problem. Of course. So that's never been an issue. So me talking about you being objective is me essentially saying that I don't believe you're playing the middle of the road, and that you don't
play the middle of the road. Explain what that would look like.
All right. So for me, if you were honest with with your claim that and this is the first thing, and I'm going by the first thing it is that you said when you put yourself, well, we can't say that because the shit happened on your show. So the first thing it is that you said,
oh fuck, stop this.
Say what?
The first thing I said was, oh fuck, we got to stop this shit. Like,
right.
I don't want this shit.
Specifically what it is that I'm saying is that when I first saw you post that, injecting yourself into this whole ordeal, and your position, right? Because you can't say you injected yourself because you were part of the stream that popped all this shit off. The only thing it was that I'm saying is that, and I told you this again, I keep referring back to this. I specifically said, if you have issue and you don't want this whole ordeal to be a thing, your issue isn't with me, and there is no reason publicly to play this as if this is a me versus him fight. This is your partner doesn't like me, and I'm the responding agency. That's it. So
that's been my position the entire time, Eric.
Okay. I will accept that that's your position now.
Okay, so that's what I need to do to be objective?
No.
I'm trying to find out because you're saying I'm not objective. So how do I be objective? What is the outcome that would make me objective?
Because you would be honest with what's actually happening.
Implying I'm
genuinely
dishonest.
Believe.
Okay.
Say what?
You just implied again that I was dishonest about
it. No, I'm saying you're not honest about what the situation actually was. Initially, this was your partner didn't like, or friend. Let me stop saying that. Your friend didn't like me. That is what it is. You tried to play it as if this was an Eric versus your partner thing. It was never that.
No, I said it was Eric's fans responding to Dick, who clearly instigated
you
the
weren't
situation.
talking about me when you were talking about that whole ordeal initially. You were saying that was it's my fans.
It was your fans.
Okay. All right. Misunderstanding.
I said Eric is not responding. I commend him for staying out of it.
Okay. No, not during that. No. During that period of time, I don't. Well, specifically what it was that I was.
You did engage, though, right? Like you did. I'm not, and that's not bad. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not accusing you. You did enter the fray with Dick, right?
Well, I guess by
back and forth with him. By responding, yeah. Like
yeah, I'll say yeah. By responding to a review, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What?
So like, And so am I never allowed to suggest
No,
that
see,
you and Dick?
no, stop. Don't try to set it as if this is I am demanding or demanding that Nick Rekieta do X. That's not what it is that I'm saying.
You claimed I wasn't objective. I'm trying to find out how I would have been objective.
All right. So how you would have been objective is you would have went, instead of trying to play that card, I believe, and I could be wrong, maybe that's a cultural thing. You would have went directly to the person that was the initiating party that kept this bullshit going on and would have addressed it with them if you really did not want this gay shit to actually be a thing. Because I believed you.
Because I didn't do it in public, though.
Yeah, because now news to me, you said that you talked to him privately. That was news to me. I never knew that.
I know you didn't know that. I didn't tell you.
Okay, so I'll accept that that's what it is that you did. And now I have new information.
So am I objective now?
Yeah, you're more objective than I gave you credit for. Then
am I objective or am I more objective?
More objective than you gave yourself, that I gave you credit for. Let's be more.
But I'm not at objective yet.
No, I don't believe that you're.
Okay, so
then to be fair, all right. So let me be.
It's your claim, bro. I'm just trying.
I know. I said that you're not as objective. More so, I said you're not as objective as I think you lead yourself to believe. And
yes, I know you're claiming what I have convinced myself and my audience of, and I'm trying to figure out what things it would be for me. And I just
gave you an example. And to be honest, Nick, I just gave you an example. And then when I even give you examples, to me, you can't even concede some. And this is why it's so difficult for me to believe that you're trying your level best, right, to be objective when you can't even acknowledge the fact that this guy is actively and took credit for trying to ruin someone's business.
First things first, let's get back to that objective thing, and then I'll get to that second thing, because I was trying to finish the statement. But your claim is that I'm not objective. I'm asking for information on how to show I am. And when you gave me the information, I said, hey, I've actually done that thing. Mm-hmm. And then you had to walk that back a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I said, am I objective now? And you said, no. So I asked, okay.
Well, all right.
Well, hold the fuck on, man.
Okay, man.
So when I ask for more information, it might be because you have another misconception that you wouldn't have any opportunity to know about my position.
And I've already given you two examples, right, of what to me is blatantly obvious, and maybe you disagree, and maybe that's where our disagreement lies, because for you, actively going to fuck with someone's business is not actively going to fuck with someone's business.
We have different definitions of actively fucking with someone's business. I want to know how anything Dick has done would fuck with your business outside of some people might not like you.
So what? All right. So let me ask you this. What do you consider that? What does that look like if someone's actively fucking with someone's business or attempting to ruin, even though they explicitly state that was what it was that they did? Right. Even though I would make that argument, that's not necessarily the attempt is there. Right. The intention is there. He's explicitly stated it, but that's not good enough for you.
No. So here's the thing. I asked you because you brought up contacting the charity. Right. Mm-hmm. Now we've separated that out from this other guy who did the charity and the ISOM people. That was a separate email. And so we're not talking about that.
Well, there's no evidence that that's not the contact that the person was referring to. Number one.
Okay. Ignore that I said separate people because we're different on that, and that's fine. What I mean is we're not talking about that set of incidents. We're talking about the one that Dick said where he contacted the charity, right? The one he specifically said, I contacted the charity and asked them questions, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when Dick contacts a charity and asks them questions about what he perceives as a fraud, even if he's just being an asshole and thinks you're defrauding because he hates you, I don't know why. But he sees it. He says, I think this is a fraud. Contacts a charity. I asked you, if someone's investigating fraud, what might they do? Would they contact the charity? You said yes. So the follow-up question that wasn't answered was, how is that fucking with your business? Like, what stands to happen if Dick contacts the charity and asks
regarding
questions?
The intention? I'm speaking regarding the intention, because obviously there was no fraud there, Nick.
I agree. I don't see any fraud.
There was never any fraud, but that didn't stop the motherfucker from claiming that he was. And you would agree that kind of claiming someone's doing fucked up things, especially when it's pertaining to children, is kind of fucked up, right?
Unless they believe it.
So it's unless they believe it. So even though they have zero proof of it, They keep claiming that it is because they went and fished for something that wasn't there. They didn't even get anything, right? They didn't even get, there was no outside of that specific email that the co-host shared. We have zero evidence of any sort of contact. None. Okay. There's no evidence, but we do have him explicitly stating that he did. Okay. So right, either way,
you're taking him at his word there, right? Like that he did contact them.
Yeah. I'm taking him at his word. Yeah. I'm taking him at his word that that's what he did.
But you also said it would be reasonable if you thought there would be fraud that you could investigate it by contacting the charity. All I'm asking is if he contacts a charity and he's completely wrong and all of his questions are blown out of the fucking water, how does that hurt your business?
I'm talking about the intention of trying to fuck with our business. That's what it is that I'm saying.
But okay, hear me out though. Let's do a hypothetical.
It's like, all right, yeah, you went to try to go whoop someone's ass, and just because you lost the fight didn't mean you attempted to get in the fight, Nick.
No. It's if I think that someone is committing a fraud, and I want to call them out for committing a fraud, and I contact the charity, and then I don't find fraud,
and you don't find fraud. There's no evidence of it. There was nothing presented that showed it. You still claim that it exists.
Well, let me say this way, and I hate being a lawyer on all this shit because I'm delineating between my opinions and other people's opinions. I've clearly stated I didn't see anything that looks like fraud, although there are questions, again, that I would ask if you're open to it, but I don't want to ask those questions because it is in regards to wording, and I hate that shit because I don't want to invite anything. I don't want to be accused of ruining shit because I have no intention to ruin fucking anything. I just want to do my goddamn podcast every fucking day.
And I don't knock that for you. I don't knock you for just wanting to do your thing and do your podcast. I'm just saying.
But if someone is committing a fraud, in your opinion, and you contact to find out, are you, like, if they are committing a fraud, Nick, isn't it good to ruin their business?
There was no fraud.
But he believed, assuming he thought it was genuine, he believed there was, right?
Okay. All right. So if we assume that, so you're giving him a lot more credit than I am and saying that he did that, right? He genuinely believed there was a fraud. Okay.
I don't know what he believes.
Okay. So what?
If I ask him, he'll probably say, yeah, I thought it was fraudulent. $17 for a fucking comic book's ridiculous.
Okay. So what in the fuck? There was no proof of it. There's nothing that's come from that. There's nothing that will come from that. It didn't stop him from claiming that it was a scam, and it didn't stop him from saying that I'm frauding kids and all that good stuff. Do you believe that going around constantly insisting that, despite it being completely false, fabricated, that someone, especially when you claim to have contacted them, yet were unable to find anything there, right? Do you believe that that is an attempt to try to fuck with someone's business?
If I say yes, you're going to say, hi, you tried to fuck with someone's business.
No, I'm not. I just want you to be honest, because
I am being honest.
That's what we're discussing, though, Nick. The whole point of this discussion right here is you don't agree that this person was actively trying to fuck with someone's business. And then when I give you an example of it, all I want you to say is that you believe that, yeah, that absolutely is the case, or it wouldn't. Because I'd imagine that, definitely with you being a lawyer, you would think that it's reasonable that something like that, the attempt is, right, to fuck with. So you just explicitly even said that. You said, well, isn't it good to fuck with someone's business if that's what it is they're doing?
Yeah. So the hard part about this is I'm trying to give the answer to someone whose mind I don't fully know. And that's the second part of the answer that I was trying to give, which is there was a follow-up to that situation, right? The follow-up to that situation was an answer from the charity, a public statement that was really nice. They're very praising of you, correct?
Wait, as far as
the charity, the charity made some post or something. They said how great Rippaverse has been. They're donating all this comics and they've donated money and all that stuff, right? Like that happened.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is not an accusation. Subsequent to the inquiry by Dick to the charity, did you not donate additional funds to that charity?
I donated funds to the charity before a post was even a thing. In fact, they acknowledged that.
Did you make a subsequent post after, or a subsequent donation after the post?
Our agreement was that we were going to keep giving them donations during this whole campaign window.
Right. So I'm not getting into your intent. I've said a million times, you did not commit fraud in any way, in my opinion. Okay. But to get to why this answer gets fucking complicated is the accusation is leveled, right? That you are charging too much and pocketing money. And I don't believe that accusation, but that's what's leveled. Charity makes a post, Ripa donates more funds after that, right? Like, I'm not wrong on the timeline, right? You had an agreement, I understand, but that's what happened, right? That's what the public sees.
The public, as far as that post, yes, the post, they posted about us. And is that what it is that you're referring to?
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They posted about you, and there was a donation that came in. You said a donation was made before of cash in addition to books before that post was made, and then there was an additional donation, or maybe 10, I don't know, 10 donations. I don't know how many.
Yeah, we've done. All right, so I'll explain to you exactly what happened, which is what it is that they've already explained publicly as well. We popped the charity off with we funded an entire initiative it is that they had, right? And then we agreed with them contingent on X amount of books being sold. We're going to keep donating to you guys money. So we gave them money prior to any conflict, any supposed conflict or any claim of fraud or anything like that. And they've acknowledged that. Yeah.
The charities acknowledge that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that agreement about the books and all that stuff, is that public, or is this the first time that's being public?
But they've already they've already stated that. They've stated that in multiple posts. That's public.
Okay. I see. I'm not aware of like the full nature of the agreement or any of that. I haven't seen any of that. But let me ask you a question. If you think someone is defrauding something, right? And then you call them out. And then after that call out, there's a post, and then there's another donation. Is it reasonable in any context for the person who thinks you are defrauding someone to think that post was a makeup post? They're scared about being called out on the fraud. Do you think that would be a reasonable conclusion for someone who hates
why
you?
would they post that if it actually legitimately was a fraud? What would the fraud be?
That you were overcharging for books and donating books for less value than what you charge. That's the claim of the fraud, right? You were overcharging for the charity book. That's the claim. I don't believe this claim. I'm just saying that's the claim, right?
We were already, Nick, the thing is, and that's been made public, is that we had already gave them money prior to the post that they made, or prior to the claim that it is they made, and we gave them multiple, obviously, as sales came in, that happened. So why on earth would how could someone come to such a conclusion?
So hear me out. I hate X company because I'm an asshole, and that's the only reason. And I think that person's scamming kids. They're way overcharging for a book, pocketing money. I contact the charity, I make that accusation, and then the charity makes a post. No, they're a great business partner, and then another donation comes in. You don't see how the person who hates that person would think that maybe that donation was a cover-up.
But that doesn't, again, that doesn't
I'm not
make
saying
sense.
it makes it true. I'm just saying, could you see that
No,
being a possibility?
I couldn't, unless someone's just trying to make it seem like that's what it is, when it's not. They're forcing the issue. We objectively gave them money prior to any sort of, before anybody even
I hear you.
Before anybody even knew about this. So that's the thing that how can someone say that there was a scam that existed when we had already given them money prior to someone claiming that there was a fraud? So this was not a case of, there was an additional donation, or there, not an additional, there was just, they just got money after there was a claim of fraud.
Was delivering a book to the charity $17?
That was well, let me say this.
Was delivering a book to the charity $17? I didn't want to ask these questions, Eric. Was delivering a book to the charity $17?
That was the cost, and I'm explaining it to you. That was the cost associated with operating. That included the sales of that included the sale of the actual physical book and all the operations associated with, because we had to pack, we had to bag and board, we had to ship it, we had to palletize all of these orders, and we had to send those out. And it doesn't even fucking matter. You know why, Nick? Because we gave them money.
I agree with you.
So why is that even a question?
Because I trust you doesn't mean everybody else on earth is required to trust you, right?
No, not. I'm not saying that everybody is required to trust me by any means. What it is that I am saying is that we gave them as a company, we gave them money, right?
Yes.
The 17 that we charged. And by the way, it was not just $17. And I wish people would say that was not the average cost of the book.
What was the average cost?
The average cost, the average cost, I think, came out to something closer to like $13 or so because we offered it in bundles. So the more money it is that they got, I don't know, is there something that was confusing right there, Nick?
I didn't want to ask you these questions, man. Did you solicit a charitable donation for a book for $17 and the actual cost was $13?
That's not what it is that I said. I'm saying that's the
average. What you said. No, maybe you should clarify, because that's why I didn't want to ask these questions.
Okay, no, I am specifically referencing. It's like you heard nothing. It was that I said. I'm specifically referencing how much on average that the customer paid for. It was not $17.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure this out. See, does it cost $17 to ship one book to the charity? Yes or no?
We didn't ship just one book to the charity. So
I didn't
no.
Ask if you did.
So no. Okay. Those were the costs. That was the cost that
Get new lawyers.
What?
Get new lawyers.
Okay. I'm gonna explain exactly what the cost was, Nick.
Please do.
We calculated the 17. It was like $17.50 that we said that you could buy for a solo book, right? That was what we had calculated on our end. That included the actual book. That included the like again bag, board, all the labor that is in that whole ordeal. We sold and we incentivized our readers, right, to purchase more books. The more books they got, the cheaper that it was in terms of their actual donation. So this isn't some gotcha or anything like that. We specifically had a setup. It was agreed upon by ourselves and our customers to get these books not only out to these to them just bag boarded, palletized, all that good stuff, but we also gave them fucking cash. That was the number that we had associated with that was what for us to feel good when it came to if they ordered one, even though that wasn't the average, and we knew that wasn't going to be the average. That was the cost associated with the labor and everything it was to ship. I don't want to talk about this individual book.
You got to stop talking about this right now, dude.
For what? I don't got to stop talking about shit. You're trying to make it seem as if it's something that it is not, Nick.
No, I'm not.
There is nothing there. No. We're not even going there where you're trying to insinuate, acting as if there was some error. When I talk about $17 a book, you're talking about for one book. When I said no, I'm specifically referencing the fact that we went out of our way, Nick, to incentivize our readers, our purchasers, to donate more books. In order for us to do that, we allowed them to get multiple, just as anything else. It's not anything unique to us, so that they at cost, right, could continue to get more books to this charity. Don't put your head down. I want you to explain to all the people what it is.
New lawyers and stop talking about this.
I'm not. All right.
I told you I don't want to ask these questions. You said ask me anything. I said I don't want to ask these questions because I believe you did not commit fraud. I 1,000,000,000,000%
so I guess everything it is that I said, you somehow think that somehow is maybe proof.
The fact that you don't is why you need different lawyers on this subject, brother.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I don't want to ask questions about this. I
would love for you to continue to ask questions because nothing's there and nothing's going to happen. I don't even know why. Because see, you're trying to dramatize it. You're like, oh
no, I don't want to dramatize this.
That's exactly what it is that you're doing. That's exactly what it is you're doing. There was no fraud, and you're not pointing to any fraud just by simply saying, was the book 7-1? Was someone got 17.50? I just told you how those costs were associated or how those costs were calculated. There's nothing there. There's no smoke there. I don't know why you're even pretending that is the case. I understand that you're a lawyer and you're telling me now to get new lawyers. What do you think is going to happen to us now, Nick?
I hope to God nothing.
And nothing will. And I'll tell you what. How about this?
Please
we'll
revisit
the question. We'll revisit it. We'll revisit it because clearly you're uncomfortable, and I don't want to talk about anything that you're uncomfortable with me talking about.
Because I get accused of drawing the shit out of people, and I tried not to.
You didn't draw. There was nothing that you drew out.
Brother,
and
do
nothing's
not
gonna happen.
ever suggest that you are soliciting donations for $17 and it costs less.
No,
Just
I'm not.
don't do it.
I'm not. That is an incorrect assessment. If that's what it is that you picked up, that was incorrect.
That's
The
what
donut- first of
everybody
all, and
has
by the
picked
way,
up since you said it the first time, and that's why some people
Said-
believe you commit fraud. And
Explain
that's
that
why
to me one
some
more.
people, because you solicited a book for $17 or $17.50, whatever it was, for a charitable donation, and then you stated publicly on Twitter that it was less per book on average. I hear you.
I am no, but you,
no, I hear you.
What do you think it is that I'm saying there when I say less on average? What do you think it is that I'm saying? What do you think I'm referring to? Seriously,
that it doesn't cost $17 bucks to get a book.
No. But no, Nick. All right. So now I see where the confusion is. That's not what it is that we're saying. What I'm saying when I say it was less than 17, I'm saying that was I'm referring to the average cost to the customers, because when you look at how many books were donated on and you calculate that or divide that by how much the customer individually paid for, it was less than that because there was a discount when you got more books, Nick. That's why it's lesser of $1. That's not a secret. I'm not introducing you new information.
I know that. And I have said, I believe you. It's not about what you did. It's about what people perceive. And
why would that be? What you saying that they didn't perceive before that if you bought more books, it meant less?
Because someone who doesn't trust you will suggest that you're pocketing $4 a book.
No, Nick.
I'm not saying you are. I'm telling you that's what people believe, dude.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I'm saying, well, I don't think people genuinely believe that. I don't think you're understanding. No. I think that you're referring to your partner who tried to say that it was a scam, and really who was the only one that said there was some sort of scam that was existing. But again, I think
I sit on the board of charitable organizations, man. You need different advice on how you word this shit. Okay. I'm trying to help. Like I don't believe you did anything wrong. Okay, that's what I've been trying to say, man. Like,
okay, man.
I'm not trying to dramatize.
All right. Well, I will say this: that it is no secret that on average, as far as how much the customers paid for by basic math, it was less than 17, and we've long made that public because again, more books meant lesser price per book. So that's not news. But if that somehow incriminates me, okay, Nick,
it shouldn't.
Okay.
I'm not making the accusation, man.
That doesn't make sense.
But I've sat on the boards of charitable organizations, dude. Like, if someone asks you if it costs $17 to ship a book, you say yes. That's what you charge because that's what it costs. Period.
But that's not what we charge. That's the point that I made, Nick.
That is what you charge. If someone clicks that button, they pay you $17, right?
No, that's not what happened. If they got most people got multiple books, Nick.
I know, but if the person who clicked on the $17 one book thing, they got for
that individual item, yes.
Then that's what you say.
No,
you don't have to explain all that other shit.
All that other stuff is public, so and it's not. I mean, it's not me saying, "Hey guys, apparently it is incriminating. I shouldn't tell you that." When it was live, if you bought more books, that meant that the book cost less when you bought it. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate you. I know it's making you uncomfortable. I'll go ahead and I will stop talking on that.
All right. Okay.
And for the record, and I get that you're saying that I needed to get new lawyers. All this whole deal legally was set up with lawyers that are involved. And there was,
I figured.
Yeah, and there was no worry about any of that. So and I get that you're saying because it would be your worry, or I don't know why, but you're saying that it would be your worry. It was not the worry of the lawyers that are involved.
Good.
Okay.
Ignoring any more specific statements on the subject and just going by what was said here. Can you understand why someone who hates you might think that when you say it's one thing online and then you say it's something else, an explanatory thing, and then you make a donation afterwards, that might be trying to cover for what was called out? Like, again, someone who's bad, like they don't like you, bad faith. They're not going to take you at your word. Do you see how they can make that conclusion?
No. I think if
you're fucking dumb on that issue.
All right.
Man.
So when I say no, I can certainly see how a bad actor could reach for something that isn't there. And that it doesn't, and it doesn't need to be actually that complicated. So I can at least see that, Nick. I'll for sure I can see that. But I will say that there's nothing there. There was never anything there, and I don't see how that.
I
could
agree
be.
with you.
Okay. Okay.
I've never made the claim. I'm trying to show you why people who don't like you might continue to make the claim.
All right.
Afterwards.
So going back to the point, you don't think that's trying to ruin someone's business?
If they believe it, then no, man.
Okay, but if it's false, is it?
Yeah, if they find out it's false, they don't think it's true, then that's shitty.
Wait, does the truth rest upon what that individual believes? Does that just give them leeway to be able to just claim someone's doing something it is they're not, especially when it's criminal?
I mean, yeah. That's how defamation works.
Right. So you would agree that
figures.
So you think, okay, exactly. So do you think that would be defamation?
If they have knowledge of the falsity and believe and the problem with knowledge of the falsity is everybody thinks, oh, well, they know it's false because it is. That's not actually sufficient. Like they have to believe it's false. Like they have to have a reckless disregard for the truth, which is in the face of all evidence that should be reasonably accepted, they still run with the other narrative. But I'm telling you, there's a bunch of people who don't have to accept what you say.
And I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that you don't think that that's an attempt to ruin someone's business.
Again, if they genuinely believe it, no. Well, I mean, I guess it would be a justified ruination.
Oh,
so
it is an attempt to ruin a business. Then it's just justified because he believes it.
Yeah, if there's a business that shoots kids in the head and I want to stop it, I want to ruin that business.
Right. Okay. But you're agreeing that he attempted to ruin the business. Now you're just saying. Now I guess the question now isn't whether or not he believes it. And correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. You're just saying that you think it was justified.
If he believes
that he believes it was justified.
So here. Oh God. If I think a business is doing wrong, like legitimately doing wrong, and I call them out, that's not trying to ruin a business in the sense of being a dick. That's trying to ruin a business that's doing something objectively wrong, right?
And I understand that, but
I don't have a problem with people doing that,
right? But however, regardless, the question isn't really of whether or not he attempted to ruin the business. The question more so is if it was justified.
I mean, yes, if we want to break it down into that specific semantics.
Okay. We agree for sure at minimum on that he's attempted to ruin the business. So
yeah, but if someone's attempting to ruin a business for a cause they find is great, then I don't have a problem with that.
Right. Right. Well, I don't think that's the argument it was that I've never made was that whether or not you, I guess, have a problem with it. At least we agree that the guy tried to ruin a business. And you've previously
I don't think it's shitty to ruin a business that's immoral.
Right. And I understand that. But you agree, and that's the bottom line of what it is that I'm trying to explain here is that, before it was, I didn't see anything of them trying to ruin the business. And now we're breaking it down. And now you're saying that, well, he did try to ruin your business. He just thought that he was justified in doing so.
Dude, I colloquially use ruin your business on, the internet to suggest that someone doesn't have a reason to ruin a business.
Okay, so that's the qualifier.
Well, I mean, I thought that's an implied qualifier, right? Like, again, are you saying that, like, if that my position would be if some guy's out there gassing dogs?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm not saying that it's unjust to fuck like someone's business that, or if they're in the business of doing something that is legitimately criminal. I'm not saying that putting a spotlight on that is the fundamental problem. That's not what it is that I'm arguing. What I'm saying is before, and getting back to the original point, the original dispute was that you didn't see any example of him trying to actively ruin the business. Now that is now switched to, well, yeah, we now have an example of him doing it. It's just not justified. And now I get it. What you were saying, I guess you were prefacing it saying that, well, him attempting to ruin the business, I was more so speaking that, well, it's only when it's unjustified.
I didn't preface it with that. I didn't preface with that because that is the reasonable assumption of what someone's talking about.
Okay.
That's not a weird thing, dude.
No. I will say that I misunderstood you on that because I misunderstood you on that.
You legitimately didn't draw a delineation between like someone being a cunt and trying to disrupt someone's business for no reason, and someone thinking someone's doing wrong and trying to disrupt their business. Like you didn't.
Well,
you
the argument,
there's a difference there.
Again, I do recognize that there's a differentiation between someone that is doing nothing wrong and then versus someone that is doing something wrong. That's not what's up for question. What we brought up is that, well, he's contacting the charity and he's constantly claiming someone as scam, and on top of that, he has specifically reached out to the the CEO and of this whole trademark dispute, actively wanting him to sue people, and he's admitting it. He's flat out admitting it.
Yeah, you guys have called each other a bunch of names for months. He doesn't like you,
and I understand that. But that was the argument. That's the whole point, is that you're saying that, well, I'm not seeing an example of someone trying to ruin your business.
I haven't seen one.
And you're saying that, and if I understand you correctly, you're saying that he's just justified when he attempts to do it.
I think he believes he is. I don't agree with him, but I don't think he's lying about it.
Okay.
Do you think he's lying about what he believes about the charity? Like you think he's just flat out lying?
Yeah.
So you don't think he believes it at all?
I think that he wants other people to believe that there was something that existed that wasn't there.
But you think that he doesn't believe it. He just wants other people to.
I think that crazy motherfuckers will believe whatever the fuck it is that they want to believe, and they will lead their audience to believe whatever it is that they wanted to believe. I know that there's nothing fucking there.
Yeah,
and I think that he at least understands that, but there's intent there. The intent is I want to fuck with them regardless of that.
So you think, hold on, I'm trying to process what you just said. You said that you think whether or not he believes it, he's trying to fuck with you. But you think crazy people will believe whatever the fuck they want, but he'll lead his audience to believe whatever it is that he wants, but he might not believe it. So I don't know what he believes. No, I'm trying to figure out, does he believe it?
Do I think that he believes that no, I don't think that he genuinely has found any evidence of fraud by any means.
So you don't think he believes that you commit fraud?
No.
Okay,
not in that context. No,
I
I just think that he wants people to think that, and that's the part of the attempting to ruin someone's business, is that he wants it to be true, and he wants the audience to believe that.
Right. So you have a different perspective than him, probably, or I guess, I don't know. Maybe he agrees with you, and he doesn't believe it. I'm not sure. Well, you asked why, like you asked for the distinction on all this stuff.
Thing. I get it, man. Like now I more so understand where it is that you're coming from and what your position is that.
Yeah, it's called objective.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's cool with that.
So am I objective now?
I got better understanding there.
Am I objective now? Because you said I wasn't objective before.
Yeah. You're more objective.
Now there's a qualifier again. More objective. Am I objective?
Well, that was always the qualifier. That was specifically what it was that I stated.
And I've asked you like 10 times now.
And
how do I be objective?
Times.
What else do I need to do? So both things that you brought up, now said I'm more objective.
So
you didn't know. And we cleared it.
For me, I think when I see things that are as obvious and blatant as that, as specifically the two examples it is that I gave you, and instead of acknowledging like, yeah, that's the guy's attempting to fuck with your business, you're trying to insist that, well, when you say that, it's only if the guy feels that it's unjustified, and that's now all of a sudden that's the qualifier.
That's not all of a sudden. That's the only reasonable fucking conclusion. That's
the only reasonable conclusion to the position it is that you have, and you have not. So all right. So if we can be more accurate about what your position actually is that you have not seen any example of him trying to ruin the business that he thinks as an individual is unjustified.
I've taken him at his word that no.
Okay, so at that point, there's nothing that can be proven in which he could be trying to ruin my business. There's nothing that he could do.
Unless he told me that, no, I don't believe any of it, and I'm just being a dick.
All right, so unless he felt like he was unjustified in doing it and told you, that would be the only way that he would not be in an attempt to ruin our business.
Do you think Dick could convince me that you committed fraud?
Can he? That's a question for you. I honestly don't know.
I've said a million times.
You said that you don't believe it, so obviously he hasn't so far.
Right.
Yeah.
So you cannot just easily convince me that Dick is trying to ruin your business without some sort of justification.
And that's not my desire.
No, I know. But listen for a second. So you can't do that, and he can't convince me that you're committing a fraud, right? So where's my bias?
In that equation, I mean, when you press it like that, I
That
think
is the
bias is in
equation,
the fact
right?
that you're giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Where I'm not supposed to give him the benefit of the doubt?
Well, no, I am saying that we
You
have
understand
there
what
has been
objective fucking
zero-
means?
all right.
I've given you both the full faith. I've given you both the exact same credit. And I've known him way longer and way better than you, but I've given you the exact same credit. That is the goddamn definition of objective, brother.
All right, so your reference to objectivity is only and solely if you taking the person's word for it. That's it.
No, treating both parties equally.
As far as what?
I've taken both of y'all's words for it equally until I see evidence otherwise. I haven't seen any from either of you.
As far as you haven't seen any evidence of what? What do you need evidence from me for?
We just went through all this, I think. But that he's somehow unjustifiably going after your business.
Right,
you don't think so because
all right,
you're biased.
we have a better we that I will agree to, that we have a better understanding of what your position is there.
My position is taking both of you at full faith.
No, I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to that the whole business trying to ruin someone's business. That's
I was just trying. Why I'm trying to show you that I've been objective from the
Okay.
start,
And I'm
even when you
okay with
accuse me of the opposite, man. And
okay,
that's what's frustrating.
Having better understanding of what your position is, I'll accept your word for that.
Thank you. Dude, if I told Dick he was the worst piece of shit and I think he was ruining your business, I disavowed him constantly, it would do zero bad for me. Zero, other than my personal integrity.
And that's, again, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that you should disavow anybody. I don't think that's something that I think that's just kind of gay. I'm not telling you who to be friends with and who not to be friends with. But there is a guy that is obviously actively trying to fuck with someone's business, and you just disagree, and that's cool.
Yeah, it's not
That's
that
cool.
I disagray. It's that I have no.
Well, you don't
reason
have
to
evidence.
agree
You don't have
on
evidence
either side, man.
Okay, yeah,
Because I'm objective on it, brother.
Yeah, just doesn't have. You just don't have conclusive evidence of that.
I don't. And
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that being your position.
good. That's been my position from the start. I hope
I'm
you
not
make
saying
$1
that it
billion.
wasn't. I have a better understanding after the conversation, Nick.
Yeah, and I want you to make. I want you to make every fucking dollar on the planet. I want you to sell 1 trillion books. I always have. It's never not been true, man.
Thank you.